Hey there guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am done doing the reviews and all that, so I feel like doing an extra episode, morning sauce episode with you because I woke up a bit lazy. Yesterday was a very hectic and long day, kind of a traumatizing day. Okay, time check is I think 9:30 a.m. here, and I am rocking all green today. I don't know, I felt like green. Okay, so after the reviews and all, I felt like just sharing a few things with you. I did share that horrible news that they had taken down my group on Facebook called Fragcomm Bangladesh, which is 8 years old, not almost, it is exactly 8 years plus old group. And due to all the AI thing or BS they are using, to detect something in certain groups, they are closing out a lot of old groups of fragrances, not only fragrances, pet groups, some of the other interest and hobby groups. I don't know for what reason and to protect who. Let me change this pair of glasses, man. This is getting, a little bit heavy, okay, because I have the other pair, okay, my usual glasses, okay, back, okay. So I opened another group, Fragcomm Bangladesh, the same name, but the almost 30k members is in the old group. So this morning I woke up, the group is back, but I don't know if it's a temporary thing, but the name is changed. So let's see if one more month, if we survive, I'll change the name. I need the group not for business and anything. There's no business in the group. I just like to stay connected with people that I know for number of years, and they're like my family members from all over the world, and without even traveling to many other countries like Spain, Greece, or I don't know, Mexico, States, and then also some of the countries in Europe, so India, Pakistan. A lot of our members are very precious and they post every day. That makes my day. I also like to share my stories every day. So I am happy the group is back, but this whole process is getting very toxic. Facebook in the whole pleasure of using Facebook is just going away. Why make life so difficult? I don't know. I wish I could talk to some of the Facebook people because we are dependent on Facebook. Let me just not bash them too much because we had wonderful time all these years since Facebook was introduced, but it used to be very stable. Nowadays too many updates, too many features, you don't know what's happening. Next morning wake up, everything setting is all changed. And the worst part of all, when they decide to delete or say give you a warning for certain posts in the group, previously you could see, oh, this post went against their community guidelines, and you could appeal for it or delete it and they would not mind. But nowadays you don't even know what you did. They just say this post went against our community standards, so what you're going to do, we're going to take down your group after 3-4 warnings. Anyway, so today my point is not to talk about it. Last night also I had mini emergency. One of my water taps, like those the old ones, it just broke. I think it got some age to it, almost 20 years or so. So it has some rust. So the whole thing broke and this came off. And what it did was, there's no way to stop the water. It's like leakage, and the whole my room here and there, everywhere got flooded. I panicked for 45 minutes at 9:30 p.m. It's very difficult to get help in Dhaka, Bangladesh. So next door we have a building. There's a manager. He is a handyman. He came running and then he bought certain parts from the shop and came and fixed it. It took us like almost 2 hours to fix it, but everything, man, after doing the review, going through that group trauma, building another group, adding people, and then that it got me pretty tired and evening work, so I crashed. So anyway, I'm sharing these things because nowadays I feel I need to share to feel better, vent out. Even if you don't watch, it's okay. If you don't support, it's okay, and it's not your jam, it's okay. So let me talk about the stuff that I want to talk to you. I told you guys that I share a lot of things from personal life, and I try to make sense of it all. Sometimes when I share, I feel better, and some of you can also relate. So today I want to talk about the power or strength it takes to say sorry. Okay, to say sorry to who? Anybody in general. Let's say mostly it can be a stranger, it can be a person that you know from your life, from family member, friends, whoever that you interact with or interact with. In America, say interact. Why the T is silent? Imagine the T is silent everywhere. Silent. Okay. No, I don't know. It's the language works very strangely for me in US, UK, different accents, right? So the power of saying sorry, who are the people who can say sorry, and why you have to say sorry? Why do you have to apologize? I personally feel when very simple life, if it's treated or seen simple, life can become very happy. But unfortunately, we are very complicated, like complicated human beings nowadays. We are we have become this species that we like to make trouble out of everything. We want to make things complicated rather than stay happy and simple. So let's say when you have done something wrong, okay, you know that, and you to a person you've said something mean, or you've done something unfair, you treated them badly, or you taken away their I don't know how to say, like attention from them or something. You've done something to hurt someone, right? And then you do not feel like remorse for it. That's like one of the most horrible things in life. I noticed these are the kind of people I do not respect, okay? Because you have done something which is mean, and knowingly, if you did it by mistake, that's only maybe later you realize, oh man, it was not a fair thing to that person, and then I feel bad, let me just go resolve it and then say sorry, so I'll feel better, they'll feel better if they forgive me or they accept. Not all the time necessarily people have the big heart to accept honesty. We talk about honesty, we want dedication, we want loyalty, but it's not for cheap people. A lot of people, they demand it, but they don't have it in return to give you, right? So let's say you have messed up, okay, and you feel guilty and you cannot move on in life, that something bothers you. When you have a conscience, when you have an like a good heart, this is how you're gonna be. But many people, they won't bother, because they just like, their whole purpose was to hurt you, just to take revenge, to make you feel bad, make you feel low. But if you're a good person, it will bother you. So it takes huge courage, because saying sorry, you have to literally go down and bow down and then say, I accept my mistake, and knowing what I did to you, like you mean it. You have to like mean what you say. You can say sorry, like, hey bro, sorry about that, and you can just make it sarcastic or just light. That's not a sorry, that's just a joke, okay? But if you really mean sorry to someone, and if they also are sensible, they'll sense it, that it bothered you, you're moved, and they mean so much to you that you went up to them and took that effort to, even there's a high chance that they're gonna react, they're gonna get angry, and they will bash you, take it out. Let's say you cheated someone, or you broke someone's trust. These people are holding grudges in general. A lot of people forget and move on, right? But if that person still holds that grudge, the sadness, high likely they're going to be upset all these years. Why didn't you say sorry? All these years I've been in pain, and they will take it out. They may hit you even, right? But that courage, it took for, that you had to gather to go up to them, and then to be able to look into their eyes and then apologize. It takes a lot of gut. It takes a big heart, okay? So I personally, if I feel ever I did anything wrong to good people, or I did something unfair, I personally say sorry. It changes a lot. It changes everything, okay? If the other person sees, okay, this man is regretful, okay, they will forgive you, and they will close that chapter, and they can move on, and they will not be bothered that one part of the heart, there's this block somewhere. It will be removed, and both of you can move on happily. You don't have to be friends or partners anymore. You can move on your merry way. They can go with their partner, you can go with your partner, but you'll know, like, you got someone's respect, and it's important. Not everybody is a bad person, that you had a bad breakup or something. If you're in a relationship, some people are actually good people, but they're just different than you. You just had your differences, you fought a lot, but you didn't mean any harm. Both of you are good people, right? So for them, I think it's a good thing, it's a good tonic. But on the other hand, on the flip side, some people are very toxic. They do not feel remorse, they are always selfish. They will do things only which will make them happy, their ego, it will fit their ego, and that will make them feel happy, and they are only with you as long as they have your approval, or they can get away with things that they do to you, but you're absolutely okay. You can take like ghosting, you can take abuse, you can take unnecessary blames and stuff, those toxic, unhealthy relationships, friendships. I personally feel you don't need to stay in there. Unfortunately, sometimes we just spend so much time with a person, it becomes difficult for us to let that person go. But one fine day we have to make the choice, like, because it makes no difference to them. They don't respect you, they don't feel anything remotely. We can call this like empathy or guilt. I'm not saying everybody has to feel guilt, right? But they know what they did to you, and just by knowing it, they blame you. Those people, narcissistic people, or covert narcissists, like their terms I study. So certain people you cannot keep in your life, because their presence is so much worse than their absence. When they stay, you are happy for some time, like, oh man, I'm getting hard time, his time. But at the same time, when the fight starts, you really wish you are not there, and you just want to just get out, but you are just stuck. You cannot get out, like it's some of those movies like Get Out, right? The mind F movies. So you are stuck for years. You have children, worse, you cannot get out. So people die, like literally, like are dying to get out of toxicity, because they know it's killing them. It's destroying the peace of their mind. They're aging very quickly, and they cannot sleep. They cannot sleep, so they cannot relax. So in life, we as human beings, everybody deserves happiness. I really feel we're doing this perfume work. Why do we do it? If it doesn't bring us happiness, let's say I do this as work, it brings me money to do decants or the views from YouTube. At the same time, this is one work I find it relaxing. I come here and sit here, and this is kind of like a therapy. If this one doesn't stay like that, it becomes a burden. I push myself. Let's say I am like forcing myself to do this. I will not be enjoying this game, right? So life, if you have to keep simple, I think simplicity is beautiful. Most of the time I really feel if we could keep it simple, wake up, have breakfast, drink water, coffee and all that, and go about our work. Obviously the general work or challenges would be there, mishaps would be there, and the responsibilities, but the man-made ones, the one we purposely invite, unnecessarily. Let's say you are not a person who is a good father figure. You don't want to be a responsible person. There's nothing wrong with it. I am realizing that maybe I'm not a good partner, because I'm immature, angry, a lot of things, but I have my other sides, which is I can do this work, I can connect people, I can go around, extend my network, and keep doing these reviews, gives my country a little bit of recognition outside. So all these things I'm good at, and I have made this a habit, right? But if you're not good at being a family person or a partner or something, that you have anger management issues, you have jealousy issues, you have insecurity, you have trust issues. If you are one of these people, man, don't get into relationships. It's not like I'm telling you, I'm trying to like impose, just a request. Because in the end, not only that you're going to cause unhappiness to the other person, bitter experience, waste their time, and they will have this whole bitter experience, and they'll carry it to the next, when they go to move to next relationship, and they'll treat someone maybe badly, and they have trust issues. So you are not only doing that to those people, but to yourself, because the series of abuse that you do, or mistreatment or fight that you do, yell, or ignoring someone, all these things that you do, this thing will make you a worse human being day after day, and you feel like, hey man, there's nothing wrong with I'm savage. But you'll see people start leaving you, and they see this side of you. You're always angry, shouting. I see this about other people, and it turns me off. So I decide, man, maybe I should put the that aggression sometimes when I'm angry, and just like stay in the room, just do not go out, do not interact, just like until my mind, because some things are bothering, right? So until that thing settles, my mind is fresh, I would not go out and interact with people. I just cut myself from the whole world. So that is a good way of self-care and caring for others. But if you're not a family person, let's say you're married in a toxic relationship, what you really need, I feel, is that a break. After a breakup, you need a break, and you need to set yourself to a certain period, like maybe it will take me like few months, few years to make yourself okay, because you're mentally not okay. You're not out of the trauma. You're out of the relationship, but you're not out of the trauma. But some people jump into the next relationship like one boat to another immediate second, because they think I need this whole caring, and then approval from people, or people when they say I need company, I need people to see me and appreciate me, praise me, and give me mental stimulation. I want to be happy, but they don't have all those things by themselves, so they need someone to provide that for them, right? And it can be absolutely anybody for them, and they just move from relationship to relationship. In the process, they lose themselves, and then they just become very, very tired. So I don't understand how people go from one relationship to another one. They're just desperate. They think the grass is greener on the other side, right? That's the term. But to seek validation, from the other side, you do not project your mind somewhere like, oh, I went through this horrible thing for so many years, months, the abuse. it's highly likely I do not know the other person that well. I just dating them for 1 month and suddenly I jump and like I do all the way. I go all the way and I want to marry them suddenly. You don't know the package or baggage they hold. Maybe they have some dark side which is worse than your previous one. So it will end up in that same one toxicity to another one drum or one barrel to another one. I personally feel, man, you need to self-care. You have to give yourself time. You don't have to run around a lot, spend so much time. When you spend so much time, it gets you restless. Think about it. Just think about it. That what I'm telling you is right or wrong. You have to do a lot of things. Like you have to go shopping with them. You have to go movie theaters. Maybe you just don't want to go one day. One weekend you just want to spend some time in the park or gym or anywhere in a museum by yourself. So when people don't leave you alone, it can get very stressful. It's not always cheating that breaks relationships. It's also lack of communication, lack of understanding, lack of space, the respect. Very important, these things. These are more important than love. You think, with love you can sustain anything. Yeah, it's a very powerful thing. Music, love, these are beautiful. Children, puppies. But at the same time, I feel personally, if you don't respect a person and you just don't like it when, just put down the phone like, like you just yell at the phone and just curse at them, and at that point that the whole thing is a toxic thing. It's not really working out, but people just too afraid to give up sometimes. This is what I feel, and they don't give up. So I'll tell you, humbly suggest to you that find the mental peace, okay, and get away from people that make you all triggered. Okay, sometimes some people, ladies, men, they can trigger you. They are just very unhappy. They find a problem for each solution. Okay, they will fight for the tiny little thing they remember like 5 years ago that you did, and they just bring that back just to make it like relevant to today's problem. And men are not always perfect, man. We make mistakes, we are imperfect. So if the relationship is solid, your partner understands, give you some space. You say, okay, you take your time, be okay. Do you want me to make you breakfast? Man, one kind gesture, one that little sorry or a little bit of empathy, it can change. You realize, okay, I'm sorry, it's just a bad day, it's taking over, it's not your fault, I'm not mad at you, right? So these little things keep people glued. If people care, they will stay. But certain people, they just do not know how to be happy. They have been unhappy all their lives, and they lie, they cheat, they do things that are very mean, and to people who supposedly care for them. That is one thing I never understood. Now I know why they do it, because they are like, how to say, habituated to behave this way. So in the end, they will always be unhappy. But if you learn from your mistakes, you have to learn like, okay, if you're going to be with me, you have to respect me as well. You cannot just say anything or everything, or let's say something like a bad joke or stupid joke, which is not funny. I feel offended by it. Don't do that. If you notice something about someone, let's say a girl that you are dating, and you just start meeting her, they will have certain characters. You get to know them first. Do not assume things. Do not crack like a joke, okay? Like the Taxi Driver movie, like Robert De Niro likes this girl and then he takes her out in those films, in the cinema, and she was like disgusted, she walks away, right? Different people like different things, right? But on most part, I think people like decency, people like transparency, honesty, and not sarcasm so much. Sarcasms are good if it's innocent, cute, but at certain point when it becomes mean. For example, I knew this girl from Iran. She was studying with my ex in Kuala Lumpur. So we used to hang out like whole group, 4 or 5, and there are like a lot of girls from Punjab, and there was a girl from UK. So this girl from Iran, she was raised in, I think, somewhere in London or something. So she had this attitude. I don't know for what reason, because she was studying to be a student in medicine, right? So most of the girls, they are nice, students, they are very nice, dentists and all. But this girl always were mean to me. I don't know, for some reason. She was always mean. When I used to drive, she used to sit at the back and I was like coming in forward, and then he just say that, horrible driving, bro. Where do you learn to drive? You're driving like bad words. And I'm like joking at first, okay, but later I noticed that whatever I do, I make them a burger or something, food, she will say, no, it's not my style. Oh man, I don't like the way he drives, I don't like the way he talks, I don't like the way he sings, blah blah blah. And at one point I became very, very angry at her. One day we're driving, like we're going someplace as a group, and she's like, can you drive like a proper human being, And I was like, that's it, I am a very good driver, and I don't drive like this, okay? I drive straight, my hand is like always steady. Even though I drive fast, my car doesn't go like this, right? And I was not racing, chasing, I was not cursing at anybody, but she started saying all these things. So I'm like, I stopped the car. I said, enough. Okay. I stopped the car in the middle of the highway. There was nothing, and I said, get out of the car. Okay. I know it was not a nice thing, but I had it, disrespect I would not stand. And she's acting like all pretty, like I'm a Kardashian, right? And I'm like, she's like, why? She knows the risk. I'm going to kick her out. And I said, I don't like you. I don't like your behavior. I think you are acting like a very spoiled brat, and I don't like it. It's my car, and I'm senior to you. And just because you're my girlfriend's friend, I tolerated you. I don't respect you. Get out of my car, okay? It's not just 1 or 2 days, it's been too many days. And at that point, I stood up, and the other girl's like, hey, where she's gonna go? We know that she's not nice, but in the middle of the road, I'm like, okay, I'll drop her to the next taxi stand. She can take a taxi. She's like, I don't have money. I'm like, if you don't have money, if you're broke, just keep quiet, okay? Next time you do this, I'll kick you out of the car. And she never ever became like brave enough to do this. Next time she saw, she avoided me, right? But it's okay. So when you're too nice, people do not respect your boundary. They disrespect you. This one, do not tolerate this people. You don't need that kind of people in life. So toxicity, dishonest people, sarcastic people, stupid people, get rid of them to have mental peace. All right, simple. And also keep your virtues together. You don't have to become a bad person after bad experience with people, because certain people hurt you, but they are not the world. The world is out there. I met so many nice people since my last breakup. I did not move on, like the way other people do, quick fix, or those relationship people go through, what you call those things, right? I did not do that, right? Just to erase someone. I knew there's a process of healing, going through it. I went through it, and I in the process made so many good friends, good conversation, learning things from them, or listening to them. It really helps, right? So good company is very important, but if it's toxic company, man, it will ruin the happiness of your life, right? So have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and try to think positive. Every day is a new day. Even the world is getting a little bit tense nowadays. The weather, people, situations, the animosity. We have to find positivity in certain way, because that's the only way we can move forward in life and feel better. Okay, I really hope you feel better. If you're going through a little bit of mental dilemma or hardship, you can reach out to me, you can talk to me, you can send me a message on Facebook. I'm not always available, but if I see a message, whenever I find time, I'll respond to you. If you feel like you want to give me a call, you can do that as well. I personally feel when you share, two people share, sometimes it makes you feel better. I have one friend, he is a celebrity, he's a guitarist, and he's going through some hardship in life because he got betrayed by his best friends. I know how that feels. The betrayal doesn't ever come from enemies. It comes from the close friends that you thought they were closest to you, okay? And it's very difficult to withstand it or accept it, right? So whenever he calls me, I go, even though sometimes it's I am tired or something. I know he says, bro, I'm not feeling good. Can I come over to your place? I said, don't worry, I'll come to your place. And I took some food. We just, he's one of the best guitarists in Bangladesh. He can sing. And I'm like, can you play me a few songs, just divert him, and I know that I'll feel better. He'll feel better. And one night, I think we hang out until 2:30 in the morning, and we both smoke like chimneys and stuff. But in the end, he dropped me to my place. I didn't take my car, but I came back. It's like I felt so much better. Okay, so if you really have those people who are real with you, they tell you like, this is what I don't like about you. They tell you to your face. Respect those people. Okay, have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and I hope if anything is bothering you, you can find someone who you can talk to, reach out. Complete stranger will do, but don't keep it within yourself. Okay, have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Love you all, and see you soon. Bye bye.